Okay, question 5. The phylogenetic tree illustrates the evolutionary relatedness of 6 groups of animals. Okay, are millions of years going up the side, but going that way in terms of time. Using information from the phylogenetic tree, state when the last common ancestor of salmon and frogs lived. Okay, so here's my salmon, and I'm tracking this back. I'm going to just take it all the way to the bottom. Okay, so this is where it goes. And now I take the frog, and I'm looking for when was the last time that these crossed. Going quite a long way. So it is here. And we are going here. And you've just got to be careful, okay, because remember we're reading back the way, so that is actually 550, not 650, which is the obvious wrong answer that people will get, okay. Calculate how many million years separate the divergence of eagles and humans from the divergence of rats and mice. Okay, so eagles and humans, let's find the divergence point for them. So eagles and humans diverged here, rats and mice diverged here, which again you could do with 50 million highlighters if you wanted. Okay, so this was here, reading back, so what's that? That's 310 million years ago. And this one, oh, there, reading down is 50. So 260 is our gap. Okay, rats are more closely related to humans than they are to frogs. Use evidence from the phylogenetic tree. So you're not just allowed to make some random comment about what rats look like related to humans and how humans don't look like frogs, okay, to justify this statement. So what we're looking for is basically how close they were in terms of their common ancestors. So common ancestors, try to find another colour I haven't used on here yet. Let's go with orange, okay. So the common ancestor for rats and humans was here, okay. The common ancestor for frogs and humans, we have to go all the way back to here. And these are the points that you want to put in. Okay, so what you want to say is that the last common ancestor of humans and rats was closer, less long ago than humans and frogs. And that's basically it. I personally would put the data in. So we've got here, it's only worth 1 mark, but if it was worth 2, you'd definitely have to have data points. So where are we going? So that's 420. So that was 420 years ago that frogs diverged from humans. And here is what we're looking at there, 90. And it was 90 million years ago when rats did. And that's it. Okay. Going down a wee bit for this one. The graph shows a molecular clock which compares the amino acid sequence of the protein cytochrome C between a range of species. Cytochrome C is a protein containing 112 amino acids. Calculate the number of amino acids in cytochrome C that are different between 2 species whose last common ancestor lived 500 million years ago. Okay, right. So we have our time of last common ancestor, and here's our 500. And we have a percentage difference, amino acids in cytochrome C, which are different as a percentage. So let's find our 500. There we go, 25%, okay? So we've got 25% different. So basically you're just taking 25% of 112, and that is 28. That's it, okay? Predict the percentage of amino acids in cytochrome C which would be different between 2 species who'd shared a common ancestor 550 million years ago. So we're looking for a projection, so extrapolation of this line, which you will use a ruler for in the exam. I have to say they were not, well, they were a little bit nice, I suppose. Okay, if I read across from here, I am getting that at 28. Okay, they were allowing anywhere between 27 to 28. So not a huge amount to give, but I suppose okay on that scale. Right, using information from the phylogenetic tree and the graph. Okay, so I'm going to use the graph first and then go up. State the percentage of amino acids in cytochrome C that are different between rats and frogs. Actually, I'm going to have to do it the other way. Okay, rats and frogs. Let's go back up. Okay, so rats and frogs are going to find a common ancestor. We've got rats and frogs. We've already worked this one out actually because we did it for the humans. Okay, so we're at this point again. Okay, so that is 420 million years ago. So let's go back down 420 million years ago. I am looking at this point here, 420. So I'm going to read that up. Not the easiest on the computer as per usual. And then read it across. And yeah, I don't think there's any given that one. 21. And that's your question.